everyone, Dennis Speigel here. Halloween may not officially be until October 31st, but for most parks and attractions, festivities around this annual spooky event start many times as early as September, and sometimes even in the month of August. Haunted houses, creepy maze, coaster riding ghouls, they can all be found across amusement and theme parks of all sizes. And for many parks, these events have become an integral part of our industry. Now, what started out as a way to extend operations well into the autumn season has really turned into a significant industry moneymaker. So, why Halloween? Well, for those of us here in the US, you know firsthand how popular Halloween's always been. The special day used to be more for kids who dress up each October 31st to go through their neighborhoods trick-or-treating for candy. Once you got to the stage of life where you were too old to dress up in a costume and go door to door, you realized you had crossed an important rite of passage in your life, and you were on your way to becoming an adult. But Halloween is not just for kids anymore. While kids do still trick-or-treat in local neighborhoods, adults today have become zealous Halloween revelers, especially young adults. Back in 2005, just over half of adults celebrated Halloween. Now that number is over 70%. Those between the ages of 18 and 34 participate at the highest rate and are the holiday's biggest spenders. Now, did you know that Americans spend more on Halloween than any other holiday after Christmas? In 2021, about $10 billion was spent on Halloween, up from $8 billion in 2020. About $3 billion of that $10 billion was spent just on candy alone. Halloween now eclipses Easter and Valentine's Day as the biggest candy sales period of the year. Plus, more than 2/3 of Americans buy Halloween costumes. More than 17 million people watched the season 5 premiere of a popular television show called The Walking Dead, where they witnessed life after a zombie apocalypse. The aspect of fear surrounding Halloween is wildly popular. But why? What is the draw to fear? Well, there are biochemical and hormonal components at the heart of it. Psychologists have found that people get elevated sensations from the rush of hormones as we increase adrenaline in our bodies when we're scared. Fear has a way of increasing the adrenaline. Many people are seeking controlled fear and suspense, and they know in the end they'll be in a safe environment in a theme park. So Halloween and horror-related experiences continue to grow in popularity, and smart theme park operators are tapping into this consumer demand. Now, where did this idea come from and how's it grown? Well, back in 1973, 49 years ago, Knott's Berry Farm in California had the vision to stage its first Knott's Scary Farm. It was a special 3-day promotion. It was the first such event to capitalize on the vast popularity of Halloween. That humble start of one weekend of mazes and a few roaming monsters, and it eventually spawned a huge growth in parks striving to capitalize on this unique holiday. It wasn't until 16 years later, in 1989, that Six Flags got into the act with its annual Fright Fest. And in 1997, Universal Studios launched their Halloween Horror Nights and charged people $32 that year just to be scared. This year, prices for Halloween Horror Nights at Universal Studios in Hollywood range from $74 to $102, depending on which night you choose and if you buy online for a discount. If you buy the higher price night, that's an incredible increase of 218% over the price 25 years ago. Now, through the years, the special event has now been exported to Brazil, Mexico, Singapore, Europe, and China. These international park operators saw the success the U.S. parks had, so they decided to implement it in their parks, even in places where Halloween is not traditionally celebrated. And so this now global phenomenon has proven successful in luring guests back year after year during the latter part of the season. This is a critical time during the fourth quarter period, a time where there's a large amount of competitive activity for our industry. From schools, sporting events, and fall festivals, we know it's hugely successful, but what makes it successful? What exactly happens when a park puts on an annual spooky promotion? What is it that entices guests to want to attend? Well, while some parks like Disney and SeaWorld minimize the gore and focus on family-friendly attractions, others like Cedar Fair, Universal, Busch Gardens, and Six Flags dive deep into the horror aspect, and they create scary, mind-blowing experiences that not only scare the guests, but sometimes make them cry out in fear. Ghosts, vampires, zombies, goblins, mummies, all on display for guests to interact and to be scared beyond belief. These Halloween events are way more about character engagement rather than high thrills and wind in your face from a roller coaster. Most parks include a combination of things like haunted houses, live shows, escape rooms, haunted pathways, haunted rides, parades, fireworks, mazes, and scary characters with roaming actors to heighten the fright. The typical format for Halloween event is that parks open on Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays during the fall season. During the day, they offer their typical programs, but then close early before reopening at dark, with the park transformed into a spooky, infinite abyss of fright. As mentioned, special tickets are sold for these creepy events, which continue to increase each year. Park operators then essentially put on a spine-chilling, immersive program throughout the park. These include clowns, werewolves, and other monsters. Live shows and attractions are overlaid with ghoulish themes. Mazes and fog machines create that eerie environment at night. Operators like Universal and Parques Reunites can tap into their popular IP to expose their guests to familiar stories and characters. As attendance and revenues have soared, so has the investment in creative technology for the Halloween season, with parks reporting that 20% or more of their annual budget is spent on creating the best Halloween experience so they can try and outpace their competitors. The fact of the matter is that the event is perfect during cooler weather periods and at a time when families are less likely to visit during weekdays because of school schedules. Crowds are lighter and parks can create a more personal experience. What's been the Halloween impact? Well, Six Flags has reported that its Fright Fest has helped boost their revenues by 5% or more in their fourth quarter. Universal Studios, amazing, has seen record results from its Halloween Horror Nights and has reported revenue increases of 3 to 3.5% in their fourth quarter. In fact, pre-COVID, Universal Studios Florida saw over 600,000 attendees during this promotional period, an amazing number of people to turn out for a specially promoted limited time event. Over in England at Thorpe Park, Revenue from Halloween has reportedly grown from 14 to 20% of their yearly revenue total. Parques Reunidos has reported its Halloween events have drawn more than 600,000 guests to their parks in Spain alone. Visitor spending at Alton Towers during Halloween has reportedly reached 17% of annual revenues. The Halloween event at Universal Singapore has been rated by the top 10 by Theme Park Insider, and has helped popularize this holiday in that country beyond belief. What began as a 3-day event has spiraled into a multi-month event, running actually from August into early November. The amusement park industry has spawned a lot of great ideas, attractions, and ride concepts that have been exported around the world. In my personal opinion, the Halloween promotion has been one of the greatest and most imaginative programs ever created to promote attendance during non-peak periods. The Halloween program can best be a make or break event for an operator. It does require a significant capital commitment in the planning and execution process, when many more staff must be hired as characters, as well as a serious time commitment, because parks start planning and marketing many, many months in advance. In the end, dollar for dollar, scare for scare, a good Halloween program can be scaringly effective to bring visitors out in masses to be frightened, cry, laugh, and above all, to spend a lot of money. So be sure to get your Halloween on now. It's that time of the year. I hope you have a great, scary, wonderful Halloween program.